Hey there, friend. Joe Hehn here, and we are continuing our series on ego work and retraining your mind. So we're just going to jump right into it. First introduction there was observation of how our mind is functioning at any given moment, kind of seeing like what kind of thoughts that we're having and just observing that, kind of like a third party perspective, like a bird's eye view. Watching your mind take in any given experience. And what we're doing here is we're just trying to notate what our mind thinks. And then from there, you're trying to see what those thoughts trigger in our emotions, in our heart, in our emotional well-being there. So a lot of times we will be in a very safe, secure space, and our mind will think something that drums up a feeling that makes us feel upset, like less than peace. So if this is our line of peace, we fall below it. So we're either depressed or sad, or we're feeling angry and frustrated, or anxious and stressed out. So what we're doing here is you're going to monitor when your mind thinks something that triggers an emotion. It's kind of like I explain to my clients, if we're about to cross the street and we're just not really paying attention, we're looking at our phones and we're about to take that first step across the street and then we hear an ambulance siren. We don't know where it's coming from. What do? Well, we stop. We don't cross the street because we don't know if that thing's roaring around the corner. Same thing with your feelings. So you're going to gauge how you feel at any given moment, okay? And when we feel something that is less than upset, ask yourself, be like, okay, I'm noticing this. One, observation. Two, reward yourself. Be like, okay, I see that we've been triggered, feeling upset, Joe. Good job catching that. Three, centering in on presence. So right now, we're not going to go beyond that. We just want to take 10 deep breaths and we want to analyze our current environment. Because a lot of times, again, we're going to be perfectly safe and secure, but yet this thought is making us feel like we are not, that we are threatened or in danger or angry or frustrated or stressed out, whatever it is, it's stealing us from the present moment in which we are safe. So we are going to anchor ourselves back in on presence through this centering step. Step 3 is coming to the place of awareness. Take 10 deep breaths. Ask yourself, what are 10 things that I see? What are 3 things that I am touching or that are touching me? What are 2 things that I am hearing? And what is 1 thing that I smell, even if it's just the fresh air? We're using our senses to take a deep analyzation of the current moment. Once you've done that through those 10 deep breaths, breathing with your diaphragm there, I want you to ask yourself, what thought triggered that emotion for me to fall below that line of peace? Analyze the thought, find out what it is. It will be something negative. It'll be something that drums up anxiety. It'll be something guilt or shame based about the past. Or if it's tethered to the current moment that drummed up anger and frustration and patience, it's basically wanting life to be other than what it is, which is all about attachment. I have another great video on that for you to comprehend. You can check that out by checking out that link here. But you're just monitoring what kind of thought there is. So you're almost stepping outside yourself and saying, well, I thought this, which then triggered this emotion, which then made me feel upset. So step 4 is finding out the trigger, the thought associated. Then from there, step 5 is to center back and just know, I have the opportunity and the power to think what I wish. So I'm going to think instead of something that makes me feel good. Again, this is just the beginning stages of training your ego. We won't need to do this in the future when you have a more masterful kind of grasp on your mind and the way it functions. But for now, think something good. So what I always tell my clients is, come to gratitude. Think of 3 things that you are supremely grateful for having in your life, whether it's experiences or people or a combination of both. Think about that stuff and marinate in it. And then have an affirmation here. Literally in your mind say, I am peaceful, I am tranquil, I am serene, and I am grateful for this present moment. From there, you're training your mind to latch onto the present, and you're not allowing it to take you off on some tangent some rabbit hole that triggers all these negative emotions to make you feel upset, angry, stressed, depressed, shame, guilt, frustration, anxiety, etc. So, first step here is just really understanding that when your mind is pulling you to that space, you have the power. After the observation, you have the power to recenter back in on presence. The present moment is always going to have within it liberation from suffering. So the more we train ourselves to exist in the present moment, the less we're suffering. So I hope this proves helpful. I'm going to continue this series, giving a whole bunch of more education and guidance and inspiration, motivation for you to retrain your mind so that it becomes a temple for you, so that you can use it to empower and inspire your goals and your purpose and your achievements that you want to experience, while maintaining a beautiful presence of peace and serenity in there, and basically really just occupying this beautiful space and allowing your ego, that thinking mind, that kind of toxic roommate, to be elsewhere. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and we will see you guys next video.